And now it's my pleasure to call on Benji.
All right. This is Driving Elijah by Blair P. Grubb. It had been a bad week. While trying to recover from surgery, I had received news that because of an unexpected huge increase in the cost of labor and supplies, the grant that I had worked so hard to get would run out before my research project could be completed. Simultaneously, several faculty members announced they would be leaving, making a difficult work schedule even worse. I was in a bitter mood when I drove to the community center to pick up my son after his basketball practice. As we scurried out the door to get to his piano lesson,
Stop share for a moment. Hello. What happened to? There we go. We want Benji. Do you need me to pull up this story again, Benji?
No. Oh, no, I have it.
I can't hear you. You're on mute.
I don't think
Not hearing.
I'm not.
Benjamin has the story. He's fine.
Andrew, can we make sure we can hear Benji?
Andrew, could you please make Susan and me co-hosts?
We can hear him. We can hear him, Susan.
Yeah.
We hear Benji.
We hear him.
Susan can.
To us, someone who is a challenge.
Okay. Sorry about that. Benji, do you need this screen pulled back up for you?
No, I have it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. As we scurried out the door to get to his piano lesson, a small white-haired old man, hunched over a walker, approached us and said, "Could you please give me a ride home?" He had apparently missed the last senior's bus of the day and was stranded. Before I could utter a word, my son, who was 8 at the time, virtually shouted, "Sure we can." I sighed. We were on a tight schedule, and this is the last thing I needed. But he looked so frail and pitiful that I reluctantly agreed. As I pulled the car around, my son carefully helped him off the curb, and then together we eased him and his walker into the back seat. I was somewhat surprised when he mentioned where he wanted to go, as it was a fairly nice part of town. When the man asked what my son's name was, my son, in his usual exuberant manner, proceeded to tell him not only his name, but also his school, where we lived, his favorite sports, and that my wife and I were physicians. Before the man had a chance to say a word, he quickly added, "Daddy's upset because his grant money's gone." "Really?" the man replied, after which he asked what kind of research I did. In the course of my attempts at explanation, he asked several surprisingly insightful questions. I asked if he had been involved in research in the past. "No," he replied somewhat wistfully, stroking his beard. "I worked for a bank." I was about to ask another question when he suddenly announced, "We're here." I pulled over, and my son and I helped him out of the car. He no longer seemed quite as old or as frail as he had at first. Indeed, his white beard seemed to glisten, and his blue eyes seemed to twinkle. He expressed his thanks and shook my hand firmly, saying, "Don't give up. Things always seem to turn out all right." I did not feel comforted. As we whisked off to my son's piano lesson, he looked at me and in his youthful innocence asked, "Could that have been Elijah?" I laughed. In his Sunday school class, he had listened to the many folk tales about the biblical prophet Elijah. Legend has it that he perpetually wanders the earth, each time in a different guise or form, usually of someone helpless or in need, to test the goodness of men and women and reward those he deems worthy. "Those are just stories," I said, and fell silent, putting the incident out of my mind. Several weeks later, the office of the college's foundation called to say that they had received an anonymous grant of $10,000 to be used for my research. I was shocked and asked if he knew who had given it. He replied that the lawyer from the bank handling the donation had said he was under strict orders not to reveal its source. I put down the phone with a feeling of elation when I suddenly remembered the old man. A strange sensation came over me, and I sat in silence. No, I said to myself, it couldn't be. Nonetheless, I called the community center to see if anyone knew who the old man was. No one could remember anyone like that. I left work and drove to the center and looked and asked around about the man, but to no avail. With the anonymous grant, we were able to complete the project. To this day, I have no idea if the old man and my sudden deliverance from failure were in any way connected. The rational part of me keeps saying they aren't, but somehow I can't help wondering. When I told my son what happened, he jumped up and down and smiled from ear to ear. See, Dad, he exclaimed, we were driving Elijah.
Now I turn it over to Sherry Miller.
Okay. I want to thank Benji and Ethan for designing and sharing the slideshow with us. We handed it off to Ethan, and he proved to be a very strong leader. And with Benji's help, they put together the slideshow. We weren't surprised, but we are grateful. The story that Benji read to us, called Driving Elijah, exemplifies our many thoughts and our hopes at this time. The story talks of 3 generations that lift each other up. It's a story of faith and continuity. It shows how the experiences of our ancestors manifest themselves in our current day. And it shows how the support of our loved ones, plus the generosity of strangers, can lead to united community. Only in my own home do I think it's a kingdom, and I've been told I'm wrong. But anyway, it can lead to united community moving forward.
Thank you. I'd like to once again thank the Madrukim for all they've done this year and for stepping up to do this slideshow for us in this special program. And now we're going to do something unusual, or at least unusual for a Wednesday for sure. Normally, one would do Havdalah on Saturday night. Jewish tradition would say that you can do Havdalah up till Tuesday night, and then starting on Wednesday night, you could welcome in Shabbat. Well, had we had this on Sunday, we would have done this it would have fit perfectly. That said, I think it's still a great thing, because here's what we're going to do. We're about to have Havdalah. And in Jewish tradition, there is a very special Havdalah. So Havdalah separates between the holy and the regular days. But once in a blue moon, we separate between Shabbat and the first day of Passover, or the Shabbat and Sukkot, in which case it's from the holy to the holy. Well, this year, we are separating between the holy academic year of learning and living Judaism, between that and the holy of living and learning Judaism over the summer. And there'll be different things that we'll do throughout the summer. And the very first thing we're going to do is Mitzvah Day. So we're now going to have a ceremony of Havdalah to separate between the holy of the academic year and the holy living and learning Judaism of the summer. So first, I'm going to light the candle, just as the first act of creation was letting there be light. So I will let there be light. And this Havdalah is a little bit different because we don't use a spice box when we divide between the sacred and the sacred. And if you know the melody, I'm going to invite you to join in with our cantor.
Ya 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 la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya ya la ya la la ya la la ya 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 la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam bore peri hagafen bore peri hagafen. Ya 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 la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la la ya 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 la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam bore me'ore ha'esh bore me'ore ha'esh. Ya 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 la 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 ya la.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. You distinguish between holiness and dailiness, between light and darkness, between Israel and the nations, between the seventh day and the 6 days of creation, between the holiness of the school year of living and learning Judaism and the holiness of the summer of living and learning Judaism. You sanctify the seventh day from the 6 days of creation. You distinguish and make holy your people Israel. Blessed are you, our God, who distinguishes between holiness and holiness.
Ya la la ya la la la. Baruch atah Adonai borei hamabdil ben kodesh lekodesh. Ya 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 la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la la ya 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 la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la.
Whenever we get to a new time in Jewish time, sacred time, we always get to say the prayer that we say when we experience a first of a holiday, a first of a birthday each year, a first new thing we're wearing. And in this case, as we just did, we've now entered the first day of our summer of Jewish living and learning. So if everyone can join in with us, and I'm going to actually ask us to unmute everyone, we're going to sing the Shehechianu. Ready whenever you are, Cantor.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was unmuted. I'm not. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Teheyanu v'kimanu
So now we're switching gears and we're starting our first summer event, which is Virtual Mitzvah Day. So, yay, Virtual Mitzvah Day. I sort of feel like Kermit the Frog waving like this. So now I invite Cantor to lead us in Mitzvah, Gereret Mitzvah.
Okay, here we go. I hope you all will sing along. Mitzvah gorere mitzvah, Avera gorere avera. Oh, mitzvah gorere mitzvah. Ya la 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 la. Mitzvah gorere mitzvah. Avera gorere avera. Oh, mitzvah gorere mitzvah. Ya la 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 la. להיות צדיק, זה טוב, זה טוב, טוב, זה טוב. להיות צדיק, זה מה זה? טוב מאוד, מצווה גוררת מצווה. עבירה גוררת עבירה. מצווה גוררת מצווה, גוררת מצווה. יא לי 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 לי.
Not only are we going to be doing mitzvot, but it's so nice to see in Becca O'Connor's house that even the puppy was doing a mitzvah as we were singing by licking her at that moment. Oh, that was just so cute and making us all happier. So thank you for letting us see your new puppy. Oh, so cute. I love golden retrievers very, 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 very much. I love my puppy very, very much too. Yes, I do. Okay. So now at this moment, I do have a text study for us to do, but I'm wondering, Rabbi Bergson, would you like to share something about Mitzvah Day?
Can we unmute everybody?
Everyone is unmuted.
Good. I want to hear a cacophony of voices. I need some help with this. So God had to choose a letter with which to start Torah. So you know what letter God chose? Who can tell me? Anybody? Adults can answer the question too. Too many people are muted.
I've unmuted
Call out a
People
letter,
have muted
somebody.
themselves. So.
Can you repeat the question, Rabbi?
I'll try again, Rachel. When God had to write Torah, God had to choose a letter with which to begin Torah. What letter did God choose? Bet. Absolutely. So the real question is, to put it in Sesame Street terms, why is the Torah brought to us by the letter Bet?
Bye.
Who can tell me?
Bye.
Rachel is saying because of the
All
word.
right, so let Rachel, let's go ahead, Rachel, mute everybody except Rachel. So why Rachel? Why Bet?
P.O. Sorry.
Rachel, why Bet?
Because bet sounds like bite, and you write it like bite.
So God wanted to be at home, okay? Anybody else have an answer? I don't even see a hand. All right, so I'm going to suggest two. Remember how bait is shaped? It's kind of, I'm doing this in the air backwards. But bait forces us always to look forward, okay, to what's coming. And we've got quite a summer and we hope a whole new year ahead of us. But even more so, God thought for a long time and said, I want to begin the Torah with bait because bait begins what most important word? This time I want to see a hand. So what most important word did God want to begin? Why did God want to begin bait with the Torah with bait? Because bait begins what word?
I see.
I see a Mrs. Melman hand. I want to see a kid hand. I see a Rachel hand. I don't see a kid hand. Anybody see a kid hand?
I see a hand, yes. Nathan.
Nathan, do you know your grandfather's on this call too? And your grandma? Yeah, so they're listening to you too.
Bereshit.
Which is the first word in Torah, but that's because God had to begin in the beginning, which means Bereshit, but that's not why God chose bait. Great answer, but it's not the one I was looking for. Any other kid? All right, should we take an adult answer then?
Or maybe we
We're
could
gonna
give
go
a
back to
hint.
Mrs. Malman, okay?
I was gonna say Bereshit.
Like Nathan, great answer, but not the one I'm looking for.
Maybe we should give a hint. Would you like? me to
No,
give a
I know we
hint?
gotta hurry. Nobody else? God wanted to begin Torah with Beit because because Beit begins the word Baruch. And God wanted to begin Torah with a blessing. And so as we transition from this year to the new year, and from this kind of closing to mitzvah, may God bless all of you with Beit, with blessing, until we see you soon again. So that's why Torah is brought to you by the letter Beit. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Mrs. Malman. And it's back to Ms. Costin.
So I will actually send to you this text studies. But in the end, can anyone tell me, it's similar to what Rabbi was saying, can someone tell me why do we do mitzvot? Why do we want to make the world better? What's Jewish about doing these activities that we're about to do? What's Jewish about doing the activities we're going to be doing? Do we have anyone other than Sherry Melman? Oh, I do see a hand. How about Anna and Molly? But you have to unmute yourself.
So mitzvot are good. Mitzvot are good. And you should do them.
And
You
should
should
do them.
do them.
Lovely. I see a Yael hand. Yes.
Mitzvot's a good deed, which so basically you're usually helping somebody or something.
Okay, mitzvot are good deeds and you're usually helping someone. Okay, did I see a Justin Dorff hand?
Yes. Because it makes you feel good.
Because it makes you feel good. So it makes other people feel good and it makes you feel good. All great answers. Are there any more answers? I see that Ms. Malman has her hand up, but I want to see if there are any other student hand ups first. Okay, Ms. Mal. Oh, I see one. Who is that?
Marvin or Marley, one of those
Is that
two.
Marvin or Marley? I can't tell. Yes.
Come on, Marley.
It's me.
Hi, Marley.
Because it's a commandment.
Because it's a commandment. Excellent. Wonderful answer. Did you have a different answer, Ms. Malman?
Well, yes and no. To give details, we were commanded to heal the world.
Excellent. So we were commanded to heal the world. I will give you one more. We learn in Genesis 1, the same part that Rabbi was just talking about, that we are created in the image of God. And just as God heals the sick, we should try to heal the sick. And just as God visits the sick, we should try to visit the sick. And just as God feeds the hungry, we should try to feed the hungry. So it's to be as godlike as possible, or put another way, it's so that we can be God's partners here on earth. So to do our part being God's partners to make the world a better place. Now there is a blessing that we say, and I'm going to share my screen again and hope that we have an easier time this time. Okay, and I'm going to go over here. Nope. And I'm going to move this. There we go. And I'm going to go here. And can you see my screen?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so here is the blessing for all of us to say, because we always like to do a blessing before an action. And because we're supposed to try to say 100 blessings each day, here is the blessing that we say before doing a social action, a healing of the world type mitzvah. So here we say together, if we can unmute everyone. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ha'olam. Blessed are you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, for giving us the opportunity, this gift to mend the world. Now, Cantor, I believe you wanted to lead us in a song that was created for our synagogue when we celebrated a big birthday of our congregation, and that we started off our school year with. So we started off our school year with Lo Alecha, and we're ending our school year with Lo Alecha.
Yep, that's correct. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start. We're going to sing the song Lo Alecha it was written by Craig Taubman in honor of our 150th anniversary about 13 years ago. So here we go, Lo Alecha, and you have the words in front of you on the screen. Lo Alecha, Hamlacha ligmor, velo ata v'nechori, v'hipatem mimena. Lo Alecha, Hamlacha ligmor, velo ata v'nechori, v'hipatem mimena. Hayom katzar, v'hamlacha merubah. The day is short and there's much work to be done. Hayom katzar, v'hamlacha merubah. The day is short and there's much work to be done. We can make a difference, we can turn the world around. When we make a difference, it goes round and round and round. Got to make a difference while you're still around. Lo Alecha, Lo Alecha, Lo Alecha, Hamlacha ligmor, velo ata v'nechori, v'hipatem mimena. Lo Alecha, Hamlacha ligmor, velo ata v'nechori, v'hipatem mimena. Hayom katzar, v'hamlacha merubah. The day is short and there's much work to be done. Hayom katzar, v'hamlacha merubah. The day is short and there's much work to be done.
Thank you, Cantor. You may have started already doing.
I'm going to mute everybody, and then we'll have to unmute you, Susan.
Some of you may have already started doing some mitzvah projects, some mitzvah activities, because there were some timelines and we were encouraging people to start on Sunday. And some of you I know have started because you've already sent me pictures of some of the amazing cards that you have already made. It is now my pleasure to introduce someone who is actually related to some of the people on this phone call, and is also the chair of our Social Action Committee. So I'd like to call on Rini Cavalar to tell us more about the activities we can do.
Hi, everybody. So glad that you could all be back with us this afternoon. So there are lots of people that are in nursing homes or assisted living or places like that who really would appreciate cards or letters of encouragement. We have folks at our Ovation communities, which is both High Point and the Jewish Home and Sarah Chudnow, who would love to have letters or pictures or cards created. We have folks that are at the Maida House, which is a place for women who have some problems with substance abuse. And they would love to have welcoming cards that say, welcome to our facility, that are encouraging and positive messages that emphasize kindness and inclusion. And we have folks at Pathfinders, which is a place for older children who do not have a home. They are homeless, and they are asking for cards that say, what is the one wish that you would have for young people? Many of our places are also in need of supplies. So there's been an ask for art supplies for COA, for, I'm blanking, COA and the Ovation Communities, I'm sorry, not Ovation Communities, the JFS Housing is asking for art supplies, and the Guest House is asking for art supplies. And then we also have our garden, which has started. We planted some beans and carrots last week, and we will be planting tomatoes next week. And we need people to water the garden all week long throughout the summer. So if anybody is willing to go on a particular day, pick a day during the week, and we'd like to have constant volunteers to do that. So let me know if you can come and help water the garden. We've also had a request for school supplies, diapers and wipes, and there's many other things that some of our agencies need. We are also part of what's called the Undie 500, and the Guest House is asking for underwear for men and women, and they have an Amazon website that you can go to order those things. The other thing that you can do is, I know many of you in the past made Band-Aid cards, and so look in your closet and see if you can find some Band-Aids and make some cute cards that can be sent to people that are in hospitals or nursing homes or at home and not feeling well. So those are all kinds of things that you guys can do, and we'd appreciate it. Now there is a bin, the big gray bin is sitting at the synagogue on the west side, and you can drop off whatever you make, if you'd like, into the bin, and we'll make sure that it gets sent to where it needs to go. And I just ask that you put your items in a bag and label where it is that you'd like for them to go to. Hopefully everybody will be happy to do all kinds of things like this. And I am sure that it doesn't just have to be this week. It can be ongoing throughout the summer, because there are lots of people that are homebound, that can't get out, don't want to get out, and this would be a great thing to do for them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rini. There are two other opportunities that I just learned about that were just sent to me today. For those of you in 3rd grade and up, I was asked to invite you to pair once a week to do a phone call or FaceTime calls or emails with a specific resident in the homes that were mentioned earlier. And I'll put this information up on our Facebook, our CEBJ parent Facebook page and our main CEBJ page. And they're also inviting students who can to participate in a virtual talent show. So by making a 1 to 2 minute video of yourself showing a talent, and then you'll be sending it to a specific person, and I'll have that information up there. And then we can make sure that that's shared with the people in Ovation. We will also obviously need parent permission for the videos to be posted, and I'll send where that gets sent as well. So a couple other opportunities that sound like a lot of fun when you have extra time. At this point, we get to the hardest part for me, the part where I have to say goodbye today. We do hope to see you in the summer. There's even a chance that there may be a summer event next week to celebrate Shavuot that I may send out to everyone. But look for more things. Remember that our Goose Chase goes through a week from Friday. So we'll see who our winners are a week from Friday and who will be getting some prizes. And once again, everyone who participates will get honored once we are all back together. And there'll be many other things coming up that will be sent out to you throughout the summer. And at this time, here is my wish for all of you. May you read a good book. May you connect with friends, perhaps even make a new friend. And may you find joy in nature and with your family and in your Judaism. And we hope that you will keep in touch with us throughout the summer. And we look forward to seeing you in the fall. Have a great summer. And we look forward to celebrating many things with you.
Nathan.
Thank you.
Bye.
Very nice to see everybody. Thank you for coming for the last day.
Ethan went
Here.
off. Oh, no, he didn't.
And may blessing follow you wherever you
Bye.
go.
Thank you to all the teachers.
Thank you, guys.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye, everybody. Nice to see you.
Enjoy doing
Bye.
your boat.
Bye.
Enjoy healing the world.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You need us to help you exit?
So what are you thinking? Do you think our house is gonna look good? Here, give it to Bobby Allen.
Bye.
Bye.